Yo, it's ODB from OLP, and I want to show you something that you may not know. Many of you know that West Side, September 97, became Krew Kut. Now, we have told pretty much almost every angle of this story. Rest in peace, Sean Mahaney, that worked for Master Image Customs. He was one of Rob's employees, Rob Maji. And Sean came on. He talked about the transformation, how this kind of was like a hidden project at that time. A lot of people didn't even realize it was the same truck because of some of the differences and the changes they made. We had Rob Maji on from Master Image Customs, one of our most downloaded episodes on OLP. That was super cool. Hopefully we'll get Rob back on in the future, maybe for a video episode. We talked to Van Diemen that painted this truck, okay? We talked to Steve at Hydraulics when it was rebuilt and so many others. This was the rebuild, and it's definitely one of those trucks that so many people know it. A lot of people know it now because of the Gas Monkey Fast and Loud show, which is fine. Not everybody was into the truck scene, back in August 99 or in the 90s, if you will. But the cool thing was, many of you know, of course, the truck retained the paint. They did a great job kind of doing the facelift, if you will, kind of more of a rebuild. It basically looks the same with some great mods that they did, the interior and things like that, right? So we also talked to Heather and Joey. So Heather won this truck, which I didn't pull out that issue of Street Trucks, but down the road, we also told this story. This truck was given away at Cal Truck Jam. So rest in peace, Big Al, as he was referred to as by his friends, Al Martinez, that started Cal Truck Jam. But this truck, again, has just an amazing story to it. And we've tried to tell like every aspect of it. Sean gave us some behind the scene photos, showing the transformation, or really even showing when this truck was first being body dropped, which at the time you can't forget. I mean, this may not have been, we realize it's not the first dually that was body dropped, but it was, kind of the infancy of these trucks, being laid out. Again, it wasn't the first one, but we've told every aspect of it. And again, of course, it goes on to be shot for the cover of Truckin, again, towards the very end of Truckin's run. And it's kind of funny because the magazines got so thin that you could see here it's just worn off. You can't even really tell which one it is until you flip to some of the pages. But yeah, so there you go. So towards the end of Truckin's run, it graces the cover. Of course, John Jackson shoots it here. So Wes shot it both times here, and then of course John Jackson. Now, here's the thing that you may not know about it, and we did touch upon this with Rob Maji. And for those that did not know, I guess you could kind of say there was a Krew Kut lowrider Impala to a certain extent. And I'm spinning it that way because basically if you look at it, when Rob was on, Rob talked a little bit about his, insights and his visions for some of their builds, especially like on the M.I.C where they had full creative control, hey, let's do this, hey, let's do that. So you could see here the green, you've got the yellow, and just a super cool car. And I posted this in social media a couple times, but for those that don't know, this was May 2002 custom rodder. Kind of a harder one to find, but you can find it out there. We see here it has the M.I.C Master Image Customs logo on the front. And if you look at the interior there with the flames and whatnot, of course not the exact same, but that same vibe, right? So August 99, May 2002, within that kind of 2.5, 3.5 year time period. So it's pretty cool. Now, if anybody happens to know what happened to this car, I know who I think it went to after Rob. He had mentioned that. But if you happen to know where it's at today, does it look the same? Did it get, thrashed? Who knows? But what I will do for those that haven't seen it. I was going to try to flip to the table of contents. And while I'm looking for this real quick, because I can't remember the page number, here you go. I would remind you, if you get a chance, search any podcast app. Just search OLP, and just know in 2024 we're doing video episodes, so you can listen to an audio-only version here on YouTube, or the newer episodes are video as well. Solo 6 Foe by Rob Fortier. Is that how you pronounce the name? So, there you have it. Billet wheels. You'll see a lot of guys now and ladies call these low rods. I think there's a big page called low rods. And whatever you call them, you know, a mix between a lowrider, resto mod / mini truck. But I'm not going to flip to this page, but even if you look like kind of like some of the, how they did, you know, some of the engine bay kind of is reminiscent of Krew Kut. But you've got the billet wheels. You've got the skulls. You've got the yellow and the same, similar color, I guess. Van Diemen, if I remember correctly, shout out to Van Diemen. We've also had Van Diemen on, who painted those graphics. Salute to the OG. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Salute to the OG there. Rob Maji's envelope pushing Impala SS. Remember, this was 22 years ago, and things, you know, were a little bit different. I mean, there weren't, I'm not going to say there were no Impalas that were, you know, on billets. I mean, certainly I'm sure there was, but kind of something a little bit different. But, you know, if you are scoring these at home, this is kind of the order that they are going to go in. And then we'll wrap this short video up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. So you got West Side. Krew Kut, of course, this truck eventually is given away. We did that episode 20 years, pretty much to the day that it was given away at Cal Truck Jam, which was August of 2001. And Heather and Joey tell that story on OLP exclusive. So shout out to Joey. That was right before 9/11 in 2001. And he talks about remembering that, of course. We'll never forget 9/11. But that truck was given away. Around probably between this and this, obviously the Impala gets built. You can see the M.I.C tag there for those that didn't know. Again, May 2002. And then, of course, what a storied truck. John Jackson goes to shoot it after the Gas Monkey crew rebuild it. It obviously gets a lot of exposure. And then Dave Schulman purchases it from Richard Rawlings, takes it to Scraping the Coast. He drives it from Texas in a little bit of the rain to Scraping the Coast, debuts it there as the new owner, and the rest is history. Of course, Dave Schulman still owns it. So there you have it. A little bit of history for you all. Stay on the rise, everyone. Krew Kut. Such an awesome truck. With that Impala, though. Shout out to everyone involved in this build. If I forgot any aspect of it, my apologies. We'll hit you in the next video or podcast. We out here.